We're becoming an urban city from a small bedroom community, and that's the side effects that we're going to have as we move forward, and it's got to have a plan in place to make sure that our community is safe. We're not going to tolerate criminals. Same time, we're make sure that we have programs in place for everybody. So this one's a little heartbreaking with, this could have been my daughter, she walks from Highline to the library, so.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are pretty awful. I mean, first you have this teenager walking home from school, and I mean, the way they describe it, a car pulls up, and they tackle him on the ground. I mean, when you heard the details, what was going on? Because it was adults doing this. It wasn't like other teenagers who maybe don't know better.
I think I'm like any other community member, anybody that's puzzled by why would two adults do this to a child. To me, it just there is no justification for it. I understand that it was maybe a red pickup truck with two males, and so if anybody saw it, I would urge them to call the police department, call 911. We're definitely not going to tolerate that in our community. I know that tonight there's a meeting with the Highline School District to figure out what plan do we have for safety for our children, and I plan on being there. I know that I plan on also meeting with the leadership of the police department. We just hired a new chief, so we definitely want to meet with them, get ahead of this. There's no reason why we should have to bury a 13-year-old girl, as I was yesterday at Elizabeth's funeral, who was murdered a couple of weeks back. There's no reason why parents should have to bury their child, and there's no reason why a parent working, trying to get ahead, should have to worry about their child walking home and being assaulted by two adults. Just can't tolerate that. Can't tolerate that.
And then the incident last night, in some ways, it's like, you have these guys harassing a homeless person. Another person, a good Samaritan trying to do the right thing, jumps in, and he gets beaten with a chain and a machete.
Well, a couple things that is going on with our homeless population across the county. I know that even in our community, we're very divided on how we deal with the homeless situation. The reality is that economically people are struggling in our county, in our city, and there's some frustrated people on what we should do with our homeless. But we gotta have compassion, we gotta have a heart for all of us in our community. And these two individuals, I don't know if alcohol played a part in it.
They say they were drunk.
But regardless, whether it did or it didn't, unacceptable, will not be tolerated. The letter of the law should be pushed on them and making sure that they understand that you don't beat a homeless person or anybody in our community, especially with a machete or a chain. And if you're going to do that, then you're going to go pay the time to that crime. Look, a lot of this stuff that we're feeling now, like I've said, is that we're becoming an urban city. We've been a bedroom community for the last 20 years, and now we're having the side effects of that growth. But at the same time, I can tell you that our police department is actively out there. If you see something that's just not right, I would urge you to call 911. I've been going out to the community, talking to our folks here, just letting them know, hey, pick up the phone, call 911. It is taxing for our police department, but we cannot have, a Samaritan hurt over trying to protect a homeless person in our city. It's untolerated. Now, I would tell you, if look, I know a lot of our community members feel deeply about our community and they want to protect their community, but I would urge you, call 911. Don't put your life at risk. We are going through some terrible times economically, politically, across the country. Our own community is divided on how we take care of our homeless, but at the end of the day, these are people that we need to make sure that they have a safe place, that they're eaten. There's a lot of cuts that have been done with social services and mental health. And we got to remember that those are the side effects that we're feeling as a community, that the money that's not there to take care of individuals in our streets is, it's going to fall, some of it's going to fall on us, right? Some of it's going to fall on the county and the state. But I do believe it's very important, at least for myself and our council members and the city manager, to bring the leaders in our community that represent different institutions and organizations and nonprofits to come together to be able to start talking about what resources we can bring together to confront some of these issues the side effects that we're feeling in our city.
Do you want to have some sort of a meeting or town hall or something?
Well, we've had a town hall with the community members. It's been loud and clear on what the committee members feel. We're going to continue to have more. But more than anything, it's actually the people that are responsible with the money of the city or the sheriff's department or the county executive's office, state office, with Jay Inslee. I'm, going to reach out to the state to figure out, okay, well, what is it that the state can help us with, the county can help us with. Burien look, we're a small city. We're struggling financially. We don't have the resources to put together programs, so we really need some help, and we're going to be crying out, letting the county, the state, even the federal grants out there to figure out what kind of programs we can put in our community. We are a growing community. We have very wealthy, middle-class working people and very poor, and so when you have that kind of a setup, you got to be able to figure out what kind of programs you can put in place, and that we can't burden the people that are already burdened with taxes, right? So we got to come up with creative ways. I think that right away, if we have a meeting with, let's say, nonprofits that deal with mental health, or we bring in the hospital, we have a big contingency of clinics and hospitals here with professional doctors. We have a big school district. We have a great police department. We have great city staff, city manager. So if we can bring them together and figure out what resources we can pull together. The YMCA is right up the street. There's programs for youth. And so that's one of the meetings that I'd like to see if we can convene and at least influence or have the conversation with those decision makers and see if we can come together and figure out if we can come up with a strategy and a plan on keeping our children safe, keeping our community safe, and making sure that we have no more deaths of young people in our community.
Is it frustrating for your community to be in the news now just for these bad things and not for some of the good things going on here?
I gotta tell you, it's taking a toll on me and my family. I'm a regular person. I live in this community. I go to work every day. My children, kiss them in the morning, they go to school. My son's going to college. I'm a regular person. Yes, I decided to run for office and make sure that I have a responsibility to come up with solutions of some of the side effects that we have as a growing city. But I'm committed to it. And I would ask the community of Burien to come together, be committed of working together, regardless if we have different beliefs and approaches of how we confront this stuff, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, what color of skin we have, where we're from. We all live here. We all go to sleep, wake up in the morning, go to work. We want to make sure that our children have a safe place, that they have a future in our community. So I do believe that the only way we're going to be able to help some of the side effects of growth and making sure that our streets are safe is to come together and continue to have dialogue. Listen, I love the United States of America. I love our community. It's a place where we can voice our opinions. And look, the person that's never been involved in politics may have the answer or the idea to some of the solutions we need in our community. So I want to hear from everybody.
Is there anything else you'd like to share, Mr. Mayor?
I just would like to make sure that I send a message that we got to stay together. We got to make sure that we participate in coming out and voicing your concerns, your opinion at the council meetings. I know that council members and I are really concerned of our community. We live here. Our children go to school here. Our friends are here. Future friends are here. And so I just urge you that you stay vigilant on the streets. If you see something, say something. Don't stay quiet. Try to know your neighbor. If you see something in your neighborhood you haven't seen or a vehicle you haven't seen, hey, call the police.